We are out of the box with one of the all-time greats in Major League Baseball, Jackie Robinson, remembered all around the bigs today. There's his widow, Rachel, present at Shea Stadium. They had a video tribute to the former Brooklyn Dodgers star at the new Busch Stadium in St. Louis. The number 42 hanging proudly among the retired numbers, honored today by the fans.
His presence influenced the world, not just the United States of America.
And there as well at McAfee Coliseum, it was this day in 1947 that Jackie broke baseball's color barrier. And with that, welcome into baseball tonight. Scott Reese hanging out with Orestes Destrade, Oral Hershiser, and Buster Olney, and really a proud day for all of Major League Baseball.
Well, a proud day for all of baseball and a proud day for America.
And only fitting that we begin with the first black manager in New York City, Willie Randolph, and the New York Mets taking on the Brewers. And how about Tomooka? That's crafty. The slash.
Xavier Nady pulled in, went over his head.
Underestimating the opposite field power of Tomooka, clearly. And it nets the Brewers a run as Prince Fielder scores. 2-1 Brew Crew. Top five fielder, big swing, big fly. Center field, Carlos Beltran, a little lollygag.
Little misread right there. I think
That big a guy.
Yeah.
A guy.
Big swing.
He's going to go back.
Fielder had 3 singles in 5 ABs. Back to Oka, who had all of it working today. Gets Nady staring. Fastball at the knees. 7 innings, just 1 run. Top 7. First pitch from Darren Oliver, and don't go there to Carlos Lee.
Insurance.
El Caballo's 5th, and it's 5-2 Brew Crew. In the 8th, Jorge Julio, and it has just not been an easy transition.
It is not. They're booing, and they want Chris Benson back, but they're going to deal with Jorge Julio.
Well, that's where Chad Moeller, or Ramon Castro wants it to Chad Moeller, and that's where he gets it.
He's not trying to hit him there. That's just a lack of command, which he's had all year so far.
And there he grooves one to J.J. Hardy. That's an RBI single. Moeller scores to make it 6-2 Brewers. Julio is not pleased with himself, and once again, Buster, it gets worse.
The ghost of Mel Rojas. 11 hits and his first 3 2/3 innings this year.
Well, there's the target. There's the spot. Whoops. Mistake.
His big problem was his mechanics over there in Baltimore, and the fans are not being real kind.
It's not a good day when the catcher has to move his glove a lot.
No, Jeff Jenkins makes him pay there, and the Brewers snap the Mets' 7-game win streak with an 8-2 final. Every Milwaukee player in the starting lineup had at least 1 hit.
Well, they've been racking up the hits. They got a good young club. They're starting to mature, and here they come.
And the Brewers, Buster, he's part of the talk of the baseball world in this new season. Are you drinking the Kool-Aid of this team, 7-4?
There's no question, especially since this is the National League, where there's so many mediocre teams. There's not a dominant team. They have a chance to be a very good team. Think about all the things that have gone right. The biggest question about the Brewers coming into this year, would they catch the ball? First week of the season, they lead with in double play. Shortstop J.J. Hardy hitting .295. Prince Fielder hitting .349. Their bullpen's been absolutely tremendous. Derek Turnbow at the end. Matt Wise, maybe the most underrated pitcher in the National League this year. 7 scoreless innings in middle relief. And think about this. They've done all of this, and Ben Sheets hasn't even taken the ball yet, their ace. They're off to a great start.
And we'll talk to Ben Sheets a bit later, and you figure, yeah, the pitching staff has been good so far, promises to get even better as Sheets goes tomorrow against the Mets. And speaking of New York, Oral, still the best record in baseball despite the loss today. Is this the year for the Mets?
Well, in the infamous words of Tug McGraw from 1973, I believe in the Mets. You got to believe in the Mets. 8-1. Will they go to the World Series? I don't know. But Willie Randolph, Billy Wagner, Carlos Delgado, Carlos Beltran, all these guys, they've played on big stages. They know how to get it done. These are character guys that come to work every single day, and they're showing it right now. And they're not worried about the 14 years in the Atlanta Braves. They're not worried about that mystique of trying to take that division title. These guys want to win. They want to win right now. They love the acquisitions. They love the talent. And watch out, the Mets are coming.
Mets and Brewers, one of the big early season series of the year. Who knew? Moving on to a big series in the National League Central, the Reds, the Cardinals, and again, Jackie Robinson honored at the new Busch Stadium, and there's the same old Adam Dunn swing.
He is so powerful. I think, again, I'll say, I think he hits the farthest balls in the major league.
Farther than you.
Way, way farther.
6 home runs already. He had 6 all of last April. That coming off of Sidney Ponson, and makes it 1-0 Cincy. Bottom 2, another guy who's got a pretty fair baseball swing, huh?
Well, this young man had a tough time in the WBC. He got straightened out. He talked to David Ortiz said, just watch the ball. Don't worry about your hands, your feet. And boy, I'll tell you, he can hit them.
He talked to you a little bit, too.
A little bit, but I didn't give him any hitting tips.
You watch him play, you wonder how anybody gets him. Pujols is fifth. It's 5-1 Cards, and Hector Luna joining in the fun. Everybody going deep at Busch.
This is secret weapon number 4.
Yeah, very secret.
Well, is it a hitter's park or a pitcher's park?
Some people think that it's a hitter's park like Cincinnati with that short porch in left field. If it is, bad news for pitchers. And the Cardinals have always won with pitching. It's kind of a surprise.
Yeah.
Well, Sir Sidney Ponson settled down nicely after giving up that home run to Dunn, and this is a big deal for them.
It really is. I mean, this guy obviously had so many problems at the end of last year, and he's gotten over them, and they've given him a chance, and he's holding up that fifth spot.
Went 6 innings, gave up 2 runs, struck out 4. Scott Spezio, little insurance from another new Card. 2-run shot, his first as a Redbird. Ponson gets his first W in 10 months, 9-3 your final. By the way, some injury news. Ken Griffey Jr. missed his 3rd straight start with stiffness in his right knee, and Jim Edmonds sits out with a sore shoulder.
Cardinals starting outfield, Skip Schumacher, Sotaguchi, and Juan Encarnacion. It's a lot different than last year.
And Buster, getting back to Sidney Ponson, what does it mean to him after all that he's been through to get that first W under his belt?
Oh, it's absolutely huge. I mean, you think that people back in Baltimore probably thought there was no chance this guy would come back. There was no chance he'd bounce back from his personal problems. Well, he went through alcohol rehab. He's lost weight. He signed with a team he was very comfortable with the Cardinals, and he's off to a good start. In his first 2 starts, 11 1/3 innings, he's got a 4-to-1 ground ball to fly ball ratio, which for him as a sinker baller, a big deal. And I mean, you think about it, the Cardinals are only paying him $1 million. This could be a great bargain.
No, and a good thing about this guy, this is a feel-good story, because this guy, you know, he knew that he didn't have many more chances. La Russa, who's known to give, you know, a player a chance to be a player's manager, gave him another chance, and he's making good on it.
And there were no guarantees he was even going to be in the starting rotation. No. He won it in spring training, and he's making it stick now. Getting back to the Jim Edmonds situation, he had a cortisone shot in the shoulder, and here's a guy who has had some injury problems in the past, certainly during his Anaheim days. Is this a red flag for St. Louis?
Oh, there's no doubt this is a red flag. I mean, you know, you got a situation where he's been struggling with things, and his shoulder, unfortunately, it even showed up a little bit in his defense, possibly because, you know, when you have an injury, you're not at 100%, you can't react as well, and that obviously he's going to have trouble throwing. The thing that they would miss would be not only his defense and his offense, but his leadership, and also lengthening that lineup and not putting all the pressure on Albert Pujols. Nevertheless, the Cards are a very veteran team, and they know how to deal with injury. Last year, Scott Rowland was out quite a while, and they still won. And the thing about Albert is that this guy is rare. He can hit even when you take, you know, the other key bats out of the way. He knows how to hit when they're pitching around him, which is a rare thing to do.
And again, not to make a mountain out of a molehill, right? Cortisone shot, Buster, just like a Band-Aid.
Yeah, exactly. And you think about that. You talk about lengthening the lineup. Without Edmonds in there today, Rowland 3 walks. That could be the type of thing you're going to see.
And the Cardinals, not a great start out of the gate right there in that muddled National League Central. We're just getting warmed up here on the Saturday edition of baseball tonight. Coming up, the much ballyhooed season debut of the biggest free agent pitcher this past offseason. How did A.J. Burnett fare in his first April start? Plus, you know about Albert. Who else touched them all on this Saturday as balls continue to fly out of the yard at an astounding pace? And where there is offense, there is often defense. We pay homage to those who flash the leather. Top 5 web gems coming up on Baseball Tonight. Our Locherman performer of the night would be one Paul Konerko, and well, 2 home runs off of A.J. Burnett, giving him 3 dingers in the last 2 games, and after a rough start, Konerko hitting .524 his last 5 games and driven in 9 runs over that span. As tax day fast approaches, you all got the taxes done?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Everything under control?
Oh, yeah.
Well, the BRS, the Baseball Revenue Service, is interested in some early returns on some players who have changed some teams. A bunch of these guys have new contracts with their new teams, so taxes are due. And Buster, we begin with you. Which players have given us good early returns?
Well, without a doubt, it's got to be Jim Thome, because the White Sox are getting some refunds, figuring that the Phillies are paying half his salary. And you look what he's done so far. 6 homers in 11 games, slugging percentage of .914, 10 RBI. He's lengthened and strengthened that lineup. He's been absolutely tremendous. Certainly going to give them a chance to go back into the playoffs. And Josh Beckett, he's given the Red Sox everything that they wanted when they got him. He's a guy who's going to back up Kurt Schilling right off the bat. 2-0, 1.29 ERA. opposing hitters with runners in scoring position, 1 for 8. Absolutely dominant so far. Then you have Edgar Renteria. He wanted out of Boston, goes down to Atlanta, hitting every game, including tonight's game. He's giving him some solid shortstop. Seems like he enjoys the return to the National League. The one question, of course, the bad news tonight, looked like he went out with some kind of a ribcage strain that he could be out for a while. Preston Wilson, we know how much the Astros have struggled for offense. He hasn't hit for average, but so far he's given them some power, the 4 homers, 7 RBIs. You know, they have to get as many runs and win as many games as early to try to convince Roger Clemens to come, and Preston Wilson's doing his part. Ramon Hernandez, the Orioles, some people question why they give him a 4-year deal. He's been worth every nickel so far, hitting .526, 10 RBI, handling that pitching staff. We saw what Eric Bedard did tonight. Certainly has been terrific so far for the Orioles.
So those guys would pass the BRS audit with flying colors.
And then Bronson Arroyo. I mean, you can't, the slugging pitcher.
With the bat as well as the...
Absolutely.
What's surprising about that?
Orestes, who needs an extension? Which players, we're not quite sure yet.
Oh, yeah, there's a couple of players out there, you know, that need a little more time to figure out the paperwork and then, you know, jot things down. One of them would definitely be Jock Jones with the Chicago Cubs. The new Cubby has kind of struggled out there in right field. Not in right field, actually, defensively he's been fine. Offensively, he's only had 1 jack and, you know, not looking real comfortable yet in Wrigley Field. Nevertheless, let's give him the extension, because this guy is the type of player that they need. Vicente Padilla got off to a couple of good wins, but got shellacked a little bit today. He's another guy. Let's give him a little time to see if this thing is going to work out, because the jury is still out on these guys. And then we got one more guy, and that's Chris Benson. He of the nasty curveball coming over from the Mets. He needs a little more time, even though he's off to a fairly decent start. You know, he's the type of guy that you don't know exactly what you're going to get. He's been hurt sometimes. He hasn't had that full, you know, all-star season yet, but he's got so much upside. So let's give him a little more time and let him file next month.
Okay, so those 3 guys get a waiver for right now.
Let's figure these guys out a little bit.
They filed for the extension. O has granted it. And Oral, you get to dump on some guys here.
Oh, thanks. Let the rookie in a second broadcast dump on people.
Which players should just flat out give a refund?
Well, we're going to say they're going to file for a refund. And when they file for the refund, you better start out in the West Coast with Nomar Garcia-Parra. The Dodgers, though, you know what? If he files for the refund because of the injury, no player wants to be hurt. But coming into opening day there to give James Looney some extra time for another year in the minors, one of their prospects at first base. But opening day, Nomar did not get out there. Esteban Loaiza. You know what, Esteban, he's a 21-game winner at times. Oakland brought him out there, but he's 0-2 with 11.42 right now. But you know what, career 112 wins. This guy can turn it around. Easy mechanics, though. When the results aren't there, the adjectives start to think about, well, is the effort there? And then Rondell, I'm sorry, buddy, you hit me pretty good, but right now you're not hitting real well at all. You need me to make a comeback, and you're there to hit 4th and to move Justin Morneau down. But you're not hitting like a 4th hitter yet, and I know you're streaky, but better get it going.
Good job, brother. You took it easy on him.
Whew.
Well, funny you should mention Rondell White, because he had a golden opportunity to maybe at least improve his tax status moments ago in that
really?
Twins-Yankees game. Yeah, take a look at what we got as we update you from Minnesota. As White at the bat against Mariano Rivera. Twins threatening 2nd and 3rd, nobody out.
Oh, no.
He was trying to get a right off, and he didn't get a right.
See, that was 94, and I don't have a cutter.
However, the Twins have just won the ball game. Justin Morneau with, I believe, a 2-run single. He is being mobbed at home plate.
Wow.
And we'll show that to you momentarily. So disregard the arrow there on your screen. 6-5, the Twins in the bottom of the 9th.
The guy in that lower right corner, Santana, just spit the hook, and that could help get him back on track.
Santana winds up with a no decision. Actually, I believe he gave a 4 earned in 6 1/3. 8 hits, struck out 4. It was his best start of the 3 this
You know what? We talked about protecting young hitters. They dropped Justin Morneau down in the lineup this year rather than having him in the 4th slot, and he's starting to come around.
Due up on baseball tonight. You know them, you love them. The big-time dingers of the day. We touch them all and get some souvenirs for the fans coming up. Here's how it happened in Minnesota. Yanks up 5-4 in the 9th. Twins 2 on, 2 out. Justin Morneau finds a hole, sneaks it into right field, and that will plate the tying and winning runs.
I'm surprised Robinson Cano didn't dive for that ball to keep it in the infield.
would have kept the game alive, but as it stands, 6-5 your final.
And the Sandman came in the 8th inning. Very interesting this early in the season.
Inning and a third, he did give up the 2 runs and takes the loss. Tough one for the Yankees as they did back under 500. Now 5-6. Let's touch them all. Bust out the heavy lumber beginning. Why not? Coors Field. Bob Abreu.
Adios.
Off of Jason Jennings, 3rd of the year. Believe it or not, that's too shy of his best ever in April. Same game, same team, same results. Pat Burrell, his 5th and 3rd in the last 4 games.
Coors Field playing true to form.
Well, why not stick around then, huh? Matt Holliday, bringing the home team back. Wow. 2-run shot, 24 of his 35 home runs.
Better see if the humidor is plugged in.
Albert Pujols, he can hit him pretty much anywhere.
What torque this guy generates.
Off of Dave Williams.
If that park plays small with Albert Pujols in it, what do you think? 900 home runs?
Paul Konerko having a big day off of A.J. Burnett, and that was a mistake, and this was, well, also arguably a mistake. Number 4 and 5 of the year for the big first baseman, 14th multi-home run game. Travis Hafner, Pronk, they call him.
Be strong, be hit far.
A no-doubter. Got 7 home runs already eclipsed his 05 total when he had 6. And what about those A's? Vicente Padilla, 1, 2, 3 straight pitches.
There it is.
Chavez, Thomas, and Bradley on his birthday, no less. First team to homer on 3 straight pitches since 2001. Updating you from Arizona, Adam Everett. We saw the solo home run earlier, and here with the bases loaded, he plunks one down the left field line.
Roger, we can score runs. Please, please, sign with us. Sign with us.
Boy. Ensberg and Preston Wilson in. That made it 4-0. It is now 5-0, and the Astros still batting as Craig Biggio is at the plate with runners at the corners and 1 out. So Casey Daigle in for the beleaguered Claudio Vargas, who got knocked around. You see Ensberg and Everett with the home runs. All right, so we get the offense out of the way, which means we play a little defense and possibly the play of the year, and it may hold up even though it's April. Time for your Web Gems, top 5 on a Saturday, and number 5 from the Rangers and A's, Nick Swisher. Good-looking young outfielder. Gerald Laird making a bid for extra bases, and Swisher says, not in my house.
Always intensity with Nick Swisher.
One more look at it. Right near the yellow buggy in left field. Number 4, and I still got issue with this, and because Torrey Hunter has given us so many tremendous Web Gems that this is just routine.
Yeah, he's going to call tomorrow and say, no, guys, come on now.
No.
I mean, he does that in his sleep.
He literally closed his eyes when he was catching it. It's kind of like Jordan at the foul line.
Need the baggie.
Number 3, this was huge. Bottom 9, tying run at second, 2 outs. Brendan Harris climbing the ladder.
Walk off Web Gem. Walk off Web Gem.
And Buster Olney coins a new term, which is not easy to do on Baseball Tonight.
That was like the heel gem we had the other day.
Yes.
Number 2, Indians Tigers, Craig Monroe. Johnny Peralta, the hot shot. Here comes Monroe.
Nice.
Going away from home plate and leaving his feet. Tough catch for a big man. But number 1 has got to be Tadeguchi, and look at the effort by the second baseman on this chopper.
Look where his hand is when he throws the ball.
Oh,
Yeah, grass burn.
Perfectly on the grass. What?
I mean, you talk about style points.
Oh, my gosh.
What? Coordination, flexibility. This should have shown that one 5 times.
Catch of the decade.
Now from one second baseman to another, our stat of the night, Jackie Robinson. We all know he broke the color barrier, but, well, he did some other things as well. Didn't make the Major League debut until 28. He's one of only 2 players in big league history to record at least 30 steals, 120 RBI in an MVP season. 1949, Larry Walker was the other. He won the MVP in 1990. Time now for our most important thing in Orestes. I'm thinking Jackie Robinson.
Gotta be. This is Jackie Robinson's day and his family's day, and he influenced so many all over the world. In fact, think about it. Robinson Cano, the young Yankee second baseman, is named after Jackie Robinson.
Oral?
Well, I think you've got to stay in that same place with Jackie Robinson. And you know what? The Los Angeles Dodgers giving him the opportunity, the O'Malley family stepping out, and that was a very historic day.
And Buster.
Jackie Robinson, the fact that Major League Baseball, what a great decision by Bud Selig, the commissioner, to retire Robinson's number 42. We've had 9 years now. It's the only number that you can go to any park in the country. It's universally retired throughout the country and throughout Major League Baseball. It was a great decision.
And Barry Bonds just intentionally walked with a runner at second base in the Giants-Dodgers game. No surprise. Slow start notwithstanding, Barry's going to see 4 wide ones here and there in the early going.
And one more thing about Jackie Robinson, it was sad because he died 30 months before Frank Robinson became the first black manager, so he didn't get to see some of the fruits of his labor.
All right.
It was fantastic, too, to see Willie Randolph, the first black manager in New York, to escort Rachel Robinson out to the field.
Randolph says he's a big fan, has a picture of Jackie hanging in his office, and a great moment for baseball. Great day for baseball as we honor number 42. And that'll do it for this installment of Baseball Tonight. You can catch us right back here in just a few minutes, 12:20 a.m. Eastern Time. Until then, we will see you.